Hey, can y'all hear me? I accidentally clicked the thing, so I don't know if all my stuff is still working appropriately. These new, I mean, I guess it's not new, I'm just technologically stupid, but these like newer mouses that you have for your computer, they have little buttons on the side, and you accidentally click that and it logs you out of shit. And so I don't know. I think that's what just happened just now because at the end of my intro, I was getting my mouse ready so that I could click myself on the screen all, smooth like. And I done click the button on the side of the mouse that I don't even know what it does. And then it just logged me out of the StreamYard. So I don't know what happened just now. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Hopefully y'all can see me. Me and all my pregnant glory. How are y'all doing today? I hope y'all had a really good holiday and are still having good holidays because the holidays are not completely over. We have New Year's coming up. Yeah. So what's up, Divine Focus? Hey. What's up, Reyes? What's up, Gabby? What's up, April? What's up, Gaston? I never remember if we had determined if it was Gaston or Gaston. I forget. I know we had a whole conversation about how to pronounce your name. If it was Gaston, like from Beauty and the Beast, or Gaston, I'm sorry. But thank you for stopping by, checking on your girl. Hey, Justin. Hey, baby. Even though you right there. I love doing that. I love being like, oh my God, hey, Justin, as if I wasn't just talking to him right before the stream. Yeah, Justin set up this whole background for me. Justin's been like really upgrading your girl, okay? He got me a new webcam. So I used this webcam the last live stream. He got me a webcam. And for Christmas, for Christmas, my man got me a mic. I already had a mic, but this one's so much nicer. I had already had a microphone, but this one's so nice and it's pretty. Okay, it's pretty. Absolutely pretty. And it changes colors. I'm a girl. I like colorful, pretty things. Okay, so he got me this HyperX microphone. and it's pretty. So I don't know what else to tell y'all about that. It's a pretty microphone and it worked good. So I'm very excited. Um, yeah, it's a better mic, a much better mic. Hey Remy, what's up? It's a much better mic. I have a much better camera. Um, I gotta kick it into high gear, building my channel up more. I know I've been neglecting my channel a lot. It's just been a rough month because it's been about a month since I last like posted or did anything about that. Yeah, this is actually the chair that I had back at my parents' house that I had bought when I first got back from China, but I moved to Georgia and I didn't move all my stuff. So Justin ended up buying me the same the same chair that I have back at my parents' house. So he's spoiling me. I don't know what to tell y'all. My man is spoiling me. I try to spoil him back, I try to. But yeah, I'm gonna really be kicking it into high gear. Um, doing videos, editing videos, doing more live streams. I really need to get on a ball. I think what I need to do, because every time I say this, I always put so much on my plate that I'm gonna do. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this every day. I'm gonna do this. And then I get so overwhelmed, and then life happens, and then I don't get around to doing anything. So I think what I need to do is commit to something small and then go from there. Okay. I think that's what's gonna be the best thing for me, is if I just start with something small, like post one video, do one live stream a week. Start with something small. Once that gets comfortable, then I can start adding more to it and slowly build myself up to where I'm doing a lot more consistently and it's not overwhelming to me. But yeah, life has been happening. And yes, Gabby, your girl got a whole little baby bump. Let me see if I can show y'all. Excuse my my little straps. It's just I have to get the comfortable bras now, not the little cute ones that hide. I got to wear the comfortable ones, and so sometimes the comfortable ones they poke out. So please excuse my little straps. But let me see if I can show y'all my little belly bump. I don't know if y'all be able to see it, but yeah, I have a little baby bump. It's there. It's so cute. And I freak out every time I see it. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm getting so big. But it's crazy because it's like I've never really been around anyone pregnant before. Even my sister, when she was pregnant with her child, I was in China. So I couldn't really be around my sister to see what it looks like in person, the different stages. But I thought that this was about as big as, well, maybe a little bit bigger, but I didn't think I was going to, I just didn't think the baby belly was going to be really, really big, because you don't think that. But knowing that I'm this size and I'm only like, 5 months, and I still got 4 more months to go, my belly about to be out to here. Like, my belly gonna be out to here. It's crazy to think about that. Justin going like this. Baby, we not having triplets. You're having one baby, okay? But yeah, it is amazing. The things that your body, like as a woman, as a real woman, okay, I will say that, as a real woman, the things that our bodies do is just absolutely amazing. And it's nothing to devalue, and it's nothing to think lightly of, because when I tell you, it's just it's crazy. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's crazy. You feel your baby kick for the first time. You feel your baby moving around. You see the baby on the ultrasound. It's just, even though that's how we all literally got here, it's still a very mesmerizing experience. What is a real woman? XX chromosome. Okay, that's what a real woman is. That is the end of the conversation, end of the story. XX chromosome. And no, I will not go on to tangent conversations about what about people with chromosomal, malfunctions and shit like. That's not the norm. Okay. There are very few people that have that. And those few people do not change the rule. They literally make it true. The rule they make the rule true. So that is what a real woman is. Period. XX chromosome. There's nothing else I can say about that. Because you got women that are not girly at all. You got women that are very masculine. You got women that do all sorts of stuff. You got women that do all sorts of stuff, but they still women at the end of the day. I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit. XX chromosome, period, point blank. You can identify however you want to, but them chromosomes though. Now y'all out there still dating, I'm gonna need y'all to start getting chromosomal tests. Okay, when you get your STD checkup, go ahead and test them chromosomes while you at it. Cause some of these people that be, transforming themselves, they got good doctors. And it's hard to tell sometimes. Sometimes it's very hard to tell. And some people are not honest. Okay, they will not be honest with you. They won't tell you the truth. Okay, they will deny you the truth so that you can, decide for yourself. Because it's like, I feel like that's something that you dead ass wrong if you lie about your damn chromosomes. Okay, you dead ass wrong if you lying about your chromosomal makeup. So start getting those checked. Okay, they need to have that check right next to the STD check, right next to whatever other checks that you need to do, because you can't even trust the driver's license no more. You can't trust the birth certificate because they can get those documents changed. What they cannot change is them damn chromosomes. Okay, at least not yet. I know they want to so bad, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm enjoying being pregnant. It's not the most comfortable thing. I'll be honest. Getting in and out of bed is a whole endeavor in and of itself. I literally have to like roll over and then try to get myself up without, using too much stomach muscles, because it causes pain. You get those round ligament pains. All my other ladies in the chat that have had babies, that round ligament pain is a bitch. And it's not cute. It is not cute. I caught myself trying to be cute sitting on Justin's lap this one time. We do little cute stuff sometimes. And so I was sitting on his lap. I went to get up and I was like, oh, hold up. I had this deep pain on my lower abdomen. I was like, oh, baby, I can't sit on your lap like this no more. We gotta find a new way for me to be cute and sit on your lap, because I can't do it. That pain was ridiculous. And sometimes that pain be coming out of nowhere. You could think you rolling and doing the things that you're supposed to do to avoid it, and then boom, round ligament pain all through your little lower body. It's a hot mess. But it's just one of those things that you go through as a pregnant woman. Another thing, I've been having like a lot of like blood in my nose. I was like, I had read about it, so I knew that it was going to happen. But you don't realize, like, you don't know these things before you get pregnant, right? You don't know these things. Like, I didn't know nosebleeds were a thing for pregnant women, but it was so bad the other night. I was blowing my nose. There was so much blood in it. Justin was like, is that blood? He could literally smell the blood that was coming out of my nose. And it was just like, it was a lot. It was freaky. It was weird. I'm not used to that. It's just, man, you, as a pregnant woman, as a newly pregnant woman, I got a lot deeper respect for women that go through pregnancy, because that is some tough ish. And some people have it worse than others. And us as women, that's our burden to bring life into this world, and it should be something that is cherished, not taken lightly. Yeah, y'all need to make sure that when you're having babies with the person that you're supposed to have babies with, because I cannot imagine going through this alone. I can't. Like, I literally cannot imagine going through this either alone or with a man that doesn't care about me or our baby. I cannot imagine, because it's like Justin's literally been my rock this entire time. Anytime I have an issue, anytime I'm feeling some type of way, anytime I'm going through pains or aches or just anything, Justin is literally always there. So I'm very grateful to lovely, wonderful Justin. He's literally my everything. Like, I couldn't do this. And I don't know how y'all be going through this with men that you don't like that, or men that don't like you like that. And it's sad. Because it's like, knowing how traumatic pregnancy can be, definitely do not want to go through that alone. So ladies, please be careful as to who you allow into your womb, who you allow to plant seeds into your womb, because you do not want to go through this alone, and you do not want to go through this with a man that don't give a fuck, because your body is going to change in ways that if that man don't love you, if that man don't love that baby, didn't want that baby, don't love you, he not going to sit around here and tolerate all these changes that are going to happen to your body. Because as cute as these maternity photos look, okay, they look beautiful as those maternity photos look. You see, they got the tulle and the belly out and everything's all moisturized and hair done, nails done, face all did up, and they look so beautiful. They look like they goddess energy. Pregnancy is not glamorous, okay? Pregnancy is not glamorous. There are so many things that happens to your body that are a little disturbing at times, okay? And a little bit disgusting at times, and a little gross, and a little bit like, ugh. It's bringing life into this world. It's not a glamorous thing. So please be careful who you allow to impregnate your womb. Make sure that man love you. Make sure you love that man. Make sure the baby is being conceived in love, because that love is going to keep him there. That love is going to have him rubbing your back when you feeling like you all messed up. That man gonna love you when you this might be TMI, but love you when you in those stages of pregnancy where certain bodily functions just happen and you have no control over it, and you literally standing there peeing yourself because you can't even contract the muscles to stop it. But you with a man, he there and he take care of you. He gets you a towel and he helps you clean yourself up. That you have to love that person to go through stuff like that. So I'm just saying, as one pregnant woman to any woman that's not pregnant, make sure you're doing it with the man that love you, and that you love that man, and that this baby is conceived in love, because pregnancy is not glamorous. Those pregnancy maternity photos look glamorous, but pregnancy in and of itself is a lot of struggle and strife, bodily fluids, and bodily changes. Okay. And the same for men. Be careful where you plant that seed. Okay. Be careful where you plant that seed, because you plant a seed in a woman you don't care about, but you care about the baby, and you gotta, go through all these things with a woman you don't care about, but you stick it through it because you love the baby. It's just, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be in that situation. Let's be honest, okay? Because there's so many things, like pregnant women, and not everyone has the same symptoms. I haven't experienced all the different symptoms that there are. Like, I haven't had the metal taste. Gabby. Yeah, I haven't had that. Maybe a little bit, when I had like the blood in my nose, but that would have been just because of the blood, But there's so many different symptoms that you have as a pregnant person and pregnant woman. I gotta stop saying person, pregnant woman. Only a specific group of people can have babies. It's so much. Don't take that shit lightly. And if you a man and you with your woman and she pregnant, she going through it, just be patient, okay? Be patient, be empathetic, be loving, because it is difficult and it is embarrassing. There are certain things that have happened to my body, and I've had to have Justin help me with certain things, and it's literally embarrassing. Like, as a adult who has sovereignty over themselves, who is able to do for themselves, who has lived on their own, who has done all these things, like, there's a sense of vulnerability that you have with someone when there are things that you normally should be able to do since you were like, what, I don't know when people get potty trained, since that age, things like that, and you have someone that has to help you as an adult. It's very vulnerable and it's embarrassing. So you don't want to, have to go through that alone, and then you don't want to have to go through that with somebody that don't even like your ass. So that's my little soapbox. I'm very, very fortunate. You know, me and Justin, we have our problems just like everybody else, but we working through them. And at the end of the day, we both love each other. That's the most important thing. We both love each other, and we both want our baby to be healthy and happy. And so whatever problems we do have, we work through them, and we're working through them. So, don't begin with folks that you can't work through problems with, because problems are inevitable in any relationship. Problems are going to be inevitable. But yeah, I know I went a whole soapbox about, making sure you have a baby with the right type of people, but that's just facts. I don't know what else to tell you. It's just facts. But yeah, this holiday was actually very special, very, very special for me, because the last couple of years I was literally in China. I had to celebrate holidays either alone or, last year it was a little bit better because I was over the phone with Justin for majority of the time. But like, I didn't have family. I couldn't come see family. The meals that I'm used to eating during holidays, couldn't have those. This holiday was very special because it was the first holiday I got to spend around family. Granted, I didn't get to spend all the holiday with like my side of the family. I was mostly with Justice's side of the family, but that's family nonetheless. And the food was good. The food and the company was so good. And it was at a certain point, I think during Christmas, I wanted to cry a little bit. Not just because, the pregnancy hormones got your girl emotional, but it's just when you don't have access to family for, an extended amount of time, and then you finally do, especially during times like holidays, which are very emotional for a lot of people. It hits different. You tend to appreciate that family time a lot more. So these holidays were very, very, very special for me. And on top of that, earlier this month, my parents came down to visit. So my parents met Justice's parents, and we all spent time together, and it was beautiful. I really enjoyed that. Now I'm trying to convince my parents to move to Georgia, because I'm just like, y'all staying up there in that Illinois. Y'all sitting up there in Illinois is not it. That's not the move. Illinois is the ghetto. I'm sorry if any of y'all are in Illinois, but it's the truth. Okay. Georgia's much better. I like it a lot better down here. Granted, every state, every area gonna have its problems, but Georgia is a lot nicer. I'd rather deal with these Georgian problems than them Illinois, Chicagoland area problems. Okay. But it was just nice seeing my parents, and seeing my parents interact with Justice's parents, and everyone got along, and that was just so beautiful to me. um my dad, he was just so surprised at how much of a gentleman Justin is, because a lot of those things that gentlemen do is just completely gone. Like, people don't do those things no more. Justin helped me out the car literally like every single time, unless we in a rush. We have to literally be rushing for him to be like, okay, you can open your door. He opened my door. He helped me in, especially with me being pregnant. And like I said, them round ligament pains, getting in and out of cars can be very difficult at times. So, Justin be opening doors for me. He'd be making sure he helped me put my coat on, just little stuff like that. And my dad was just like, it was so funny. My dad got inspired. He started opening my mama door. He was like, wait a minute, I need to go back to these things. He was like, hold up. Justin, you showing me up. I need to but it was just good. It was a good time. It was so much fun. My parents got to go to the ultrasound. I posted that one when I was around 19 weeks. My parents got to be there for that ultrasound, which was really beautiful. But yeah, I've just been enjoying family and um working on my own stuff, dealing with things. That's why I really haven't been present so much on YouTube, because it's like every time I get around, get my mind right to be like, oh, I need to record, I need to do this, I need to do that, either something comes up or something comes up. That's just, it gets overwhelming at times. But like I said, I'm going to start small. I'm going to start small, maybe one video a week and then one live stream a week, and just build from there. Get consistent with those two things and then build from there, and not overwhelm myself, because that overwhelming feeling is no joke. It makes you get to the point where you're so overwhelmed you don't get anything done, and it's just like, damn, I was all worried about getting all this stuff done. I'm not doing a damn thing. So I'm going to try my best to start the new year. That's part of our New Year's resolution, or not, New Year's vision board. One of the things I put on my vision board is that I want my channel to get to 100K within that year's time. And it's possible, because I've seen people's channels blow up in the matter of months. And next thing you know, they went from 2,000 subscribers to over 100,000. So it is very possible. I just have to put in the work. Okay. I got to put in the work. And I think next year is going to be that year that I do that. Okay. I'm going to put in the work. And plus, Justin, like I said, he's invested in me, got me a new camera, got me a new mic, got me a new setup. It's just, things are going to start falling into place, and I'm going to be more proactive and utilize my time better. Try not to get too overwhelmed. But enough about me and my personal life and things I be going through. I do want to talk about some of these things that's been happening in the internet sphere while I've been MIA. Okay. Y'all, that whole Derek Jackson thing was so stupid. And his wife, soon to be ex-wife, is so creepy. I'm sorry. That whole like wishing fatherlessness and death and all that other shit because your man cheated on you is wild to me. I'm like, dang, what happened to her that she is that far gone that she wishing all these negative things onto all these people because her man cheated on her? I'm sorry, but you need to direct that energy towards one specifically individual. Like, you need to direct that energy towards him. I don't know why you're directing it towards everybody else, because it's like, nobody asked. Okay, nobody asked for y'all business. Ain't nobody asked to know y'all business, but y'all put y'all business out there. They posting up pictures of him with other women and things like that. Y'all put that in our faces. None of us would really give a ish if we didn't know your business, and people wouldn't talk about your business if you didn't put your business out there. So I don't know why people get mad when folks capitalize on other people's business when they the ones that put their business out there in the first place. That's like if I got on here and just started divulging the different issues that me and Justin have, and then people start making videos about it and giving their commentary and making assumptions, things like that. Only person I could be mad at is myself, because I'm the one who put the business out there. Y'all wouldn't have nothing to give commentary on if the business wasn't out there in the first place. Okay? If the shit was in the privacies, we wouldn't know, we wouldn't care. But because folks, they in love with the social media and they deal with sloppy people, their business get put out there. And it's just it's crazy to me. You're gonna go on a whole rant, talk about fatherlessness, and and this puts me on the topic of, and I don't want anyone to feel like I'm trying to disrespect their religion or whatever. But if you walking around here with this moral high ground about religion and you're this godly woman, but you out here wishing fatherlessness on folks' children, that's some evil ass shit. But you want some moral high ground because of your religion. That's why, like, a lot of these people that be toting around religion and stuff like that, I give the side eye, because it's like, that's evil. That in and of itself, you saying that is inherently evil. So you can take your morality and shove it, because I don't want that type of morality where I'm going around wishing death and fatherlessness on children and all these terrible things. Oh, your wound is this and your wound is that, and what the hell? Like, you literally have to be evil to be over here wishing things like that. But then you looking at other people that's not religious and you like, oh, y'all are so immoral. And it's like, you literally just wish children to have their daddies. Like, what the fuck? Like, please. I'm sorry, but certain things just are inherently fucking evil. But it's like people hide behind their religion, and it's like, your religion isn't gonna make that any less evil. So I just find that stuff so crazy to me. You said, yeah, she was doing some magic-ish. I don't know, but it seemed like her life has been going to shit, and she doing all this ritualistic talking shit and, you know, wishing bad things on other people. But where your life going? All these people you wishing bad on that are making money off of talking about your business, you wishing bad on them, and their pockets are just getting fatter. So I think you fucking up. There's something not connecting, and the math ain't mathing, right? Am I taking my prenatals? I am very good about taking my prenatals. I take them every day well, I shouldn't say on time because my sleep schedule is very up and down, but I take them every single day. And I drink a lot of water. Better not be eating fish and high mercury like salmon. No, I don't really eat that much fish or seafood or anything like that. I've been very careful. And plus, I don't, liking fish is a recent phenomenon. Like, I didn't like fish for the longest, but I'm telling you, Justin's dad can cook. Okay, he made us some scallops. Them scallops it was so damn good. He made some, what else he made? Some sea bass. I didn't know I liked sea bass because I did not like fish. I literally, something about the smell. I think my grandfather, he traumatized me as a child when it comes to fish. Took me on a fishing trip with my granny, and all I could smell was fish for the longest. For the longest time, whenever I saw a Pepsi, because we were drinking Pepsi on the boat, whenever I saw Pepsi, I smelled fish. I was so traumatized. I didn't want nothing to do with fish. When I was a kid, the only fish I could tolerate was freaking filet of fish when ain't even real fish. So I don't really eat a whole lot of fish, but yeah, it is good to eat some fish while you're pregnant, because they have certain things in the fish that's good for the baby, but you don't overdo it, like, because of the mercury, right? Let me see. She should have held their hands like she did his and forgive him. Right. Let me see. I remember when she came with the bonnet and the army uniform. That was wild. That did look crazy. Like, I mean, I'm not the biggest person about, like, dress a certain way and things like that, but that shit looked crazy. She looked like she was under some kind of spell. Like, that video that you're talking about was just like, it was creepy. Their whole situation just looks very creepy to me. That video of her cursing folks was creepy. That video of him holding on to her so tightly was so freaking creepy. It's just, man, I don't want to go through what she went through to get to that point. That's all I'm saying. I do not want to go through any of that shit, because that looks like misery to me. Okay, that looks like absolute misery to me. And one thing that I did find interesting was Six the Goddess, she had made a post, and she ended up doing a video about it too. Because a lot of men or a lot of women were like, I don't know why you could cheat on her. She's a good woman. And Six was like, good where? How do you know she's good? Just because she doesn't dress sexy or post thirst traps, then that means she's automatically good. And it's like that. I mean, that's facts. I mean, that is absolute facts. We don't know if she's a good woman or not. So we can't say that based on how she dresses, I'm a modest dresser. Does that necessarily make me inherently a good woman? No, not necessarily. So it's just like people always want to put these things, these ideas on folks and then try to justify things. It's like you don't really know these people in real life. She could literally be like a demon from hell that he's been attached to and been trying to work through shit with and trying to tolerate and all this other stuff. We literally do not know. Okay. So when Six said that, I was like, that's actually very interesting and a good point to bring up, because just because you dress modest don't mean you a good person. I mean, like I said, there are people in the church that you will look at and you think they so good, but literally they demons from hell themselves. We were Jess and I were literally watching an episode of Bernie Mac. We've been going back and watching because they got Bernie Mac on Hulu. And there was an episode where Nessa and Jordan and baby girl, they all joined this like Jack and Jill, one of those like prestigious black, groups where it's like supposed to be very sophisticated and things like that. And so Nessa, she's not in that society, she's more of like a regular teenager. She kind of grew up with rough background. She's a little rough around the edges. But Bernie was like, oh my God, she's hanging around such nice people. Look how sophisticated they are. They say, no, thank you. And yes, please. And all these different things. Whole time these heifers that they had Nessa hanging out with were freaking kleptos. They were thieves. And that was drinking. They was stealing shit and drinking. And because the girls looked like they were so prestige, they looked like they were so elegant, because they looked like, they had that thing about them, then it was like, oh, they're good girls and we want Nessa to be like them. Whole time those girls was doing more dirt than Nessa. So, and influencing her to steal and drink and do all sorts of crazy shit. So just because something appears to be good doesn't mean it's inherently good. Like, y'all could hear me talk online all day. I could be a whole asshole off the camera. Y'all wouldn't know any different. So it's like, we have to stop putting our own ideas of what we think people are. Stop making up stories about who we think these people are and then being disappointed when we find out they're not like that. Or start, protesting in the streets because we feel so badly about someone wronging them. And it's like, you don't know what they did to get themselves in that situation, or if they antagonized or created the situation in the first place. It's like, do you really know who the victim is in certain situations? No, you absolutely do not, because you weren't there and it didn't happen to you. So you don't know who the victim is. But we'd be so ready to rally in the streets. We'd be so ready to rally in the streets for folks we don't know. And that's something that we all need to, myself included, need to get a grasp on and think about things logically. Excuse me, I'm a little stuffy, so I might sound a little crazy from time to time. I'm a little stuffy. I might do little sniffles. Okay. Let's see. Probably he cheated because she not cooking good macaroni or meals, maybe. I don't think that I don't think she's his type. You see the women he cheats with, they don't look like his wife. I don't think she's his type. Sometimes people get, in relationships when they're very young, and then they get older and it's just like, you're not the same person anymore. Or that's not who you think, I just genuinely don't think that she's his type. That's not to say that cheating is justified. I don't think cheating is ever justified. Just leave. Why have a person string along and you dealing with other people, and then you, like, unless there's an understanding there that, hey, you don't do what you do and I'm gonna do what I do, or unless y'all got some kind of understanding like that, which in that situation isn't cheating because there's an understanding there. There's no way to justify cheating. Because at the end of the day, you could always just leave. And as empathetic as you can be to certain situations, like I said, she could be making his life a living hell, and then he going out and doing this, that, and the third. I can empathize with that. Cheating's still wrong. You put yourself in a very vulnerable position when you do that. Dayton. Hey, Dayton. Hey, Rizza. He says, yeah, I have a few of those stories from when I was in church and when I was going to Catholic schools in my Christian high school. Uh, he said, I walked in the bathroom and saw two of my classmates in the stall smoking, and in the stall, and smoke was rising from the top. I'm just saying, just because people have their little religious things, just so people have their modesty and things like that, don't mean shit. It really doesn't. Because appearances are what we want people to see. Who people really are. You got to look at their actions, what they do when you're not looking. Okay? She's a might as well wife. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Might as well person. Like, So, I just think that whole situation is sad because at the end of the day, we talk all this stuff, but who's really suffering in that situation? Because they have kids. I'm never going to actively wish for a relationship, especially when there's kids involved, to fail. That's why, like, I find it very weird how a lot of people, especially in like the manosphere and things like that, they wish so much that Sierra and what's her husband's name? Russell Wilson, they wish so badly for them to break up. And it's like, y'all, they have I think they have either two children together or one child together, but they have a child, like they have children together. And you're wishing for them to separate because you just want to prove a point about modern women and all this other shit. I find that very weird because at the end of the day, what are you actually wishing for? You're wishing for trauma to be happening upon children. That's inherently what you're wishing for, and it's weird. Like, I don't get that. It's one thing to give commentary about decisions and things like that. That's fine, but I'm not going to be sitting over here wishing that a family breaks up because I want to feel right about something, because I want to prove a point, or because I want to feel like I'm just so wise that I could predict things that happen in the future. Because at the end of the day, like, what are you wishing for? And if you're wishing for something like that, that speaks a lot about you, and that shit is just evil. Like, that shit is literally just evil, you know? And I find it weird. I'm not gonna wish for people that have children to split up, because that it takes a toll on children. Whether we want to say, oh, well, co-parenting is so this and co-parenting is so that, it's not the same as having both your mom and your dad in the house with you. Okay, that is a blessing to have your mom and your dad in the house with you. And especially, your parents are not toxic. Because, I mean, yes, there are situations where parents could be together and they're abusive. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, normal cases where, there's still trauma. I think every child goes through trauma, period, point blank. But it's not malicious, it's not intentional. It's just like, life. It's literally just life. I'm not going to sit over here and wish for extra trauma to be brought to children's lives because I have this point of view on men, or I have this point of view on women, and I just want to prove my point and wish for the destruction of relationship. I can't do that. That's some sick ass shit. If you over here praying for the downfall of other people's relationships, then I want you to take a look in the mirror and realize why your relationships ain't shit. Because there's a correlation, but there's a connection between those two. Let's see. They mad because she found what looks like her soulmate. Future was a serial cheater and wished bad on her career. Russell came uplifted her, and he's okay with her either doing music or not. I mean, people could be upset about, who she was with, things like that. And people can have opinions about, how she promotes her career as a mother. Me personally, I'm not going to be, well, I never did this before, but especially not having a child, I'm not going to be shaking my butt and doing things like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not a performer. Like, I do YouTube, but I'm not a musical performer. So I can't put myself in that same position as like a Beyonce or as a Sierra, or, people who have that as part of their career. It's a little different. Like, you start your career off, your career is already, heavily involved with sexuality, because that's what a lot of music industry is, especially for women, is sexuality. And that's just that is what it is. I can't then be like, well, now that you have children, your art has to necessarily change because of this, that, and third. I mean, that's their career. That's what they built their bread and butter on. I personally, like I said, I don't do that to begin with. But, I can't really look at I can't really do that. Like, that's her career. That's literally her career, is dancing around and looking cute and being sexy. That's part of her career. Just like Beyonce. That's part of her career, is being sexy, even though she's a mother. So, I think the extremes of that are a little weird, like pornography, like people who do porn, that's a different story. I think that, or OnlyFans, that's a different story. But, if you're a musical performer and, you have to wear certain outfits because you're dancing, and you have to wear, I'm not going to sit over here and be like, oh, look, she's a bad mother because she's performing, even though that's literally how she makes her money to provide for said child, is performing. It'd be different if she was out there like literally effing and sucking every man in the industry while being married and have a kid. Like, that's different than just being a performer. So, Ruth says, I think they mad Sierra got another partner after Future and doing well. Yeah, but that goes back to what I'm saying about people wishing badly upon others. It's like as if, because people make mistakes in their life, or because I don't know if she views being with Future as a mistake. She might. I mean, they have a child together, so I don't know if she views it as a mistake, because you probably love your child very much. But people think that because you make mistakes that you shouldn't be able to be redeemable. And I was actually going to talk about this later, but I'm going to just go ahead and go into it now. And this is something that I'm personally adopting more into my life. Okay. And I accredit this a lot to Justin. Like I said, you get with somebody that is loving and well thought out and things like that. They bring out better characteristics within yourself. And so one thing that me and Justin, we've been talking about and working on with me about is empathy. At first I thought I was a very empathetic person, but when we sit back and we have certain conversations, it becomes very evident that at times I'm really not that empathetic. That I don't look at people as people all the time. And sometimes I'm not taking in all the information and then looking at it through the guise of, we're all fucking people and we have emotions and we have mistakes. And not only that, I have mistakes. The next person has mistakes. So it's like, none of us can sit over here and act like we're so fucking perfect that we can sit over here and say that other people should be resumed to living the rest of their life as trash because of mistakes. Now, there are certain mistakes that are not mistakes, certain actions that I think are just like, you're done. Okay. You do anything to a child, you're done. That's done. You do certain acts. I agree. I really won't have much empathy for, but other things, it's like you kind of have to open yourself up to understand that, like, people go through their own shit. You hear people like, especially with all the relationship talks and things like that, you hear people going in on like Corinne Steffens, and she says some things that are very deplorable. I don't really agree with, but you hear about her life story and then you understand why she is the way that she is. She literally grew up being degraded and traumatized as a child, as a little girl. She went through a lot of different things that little girls should not have to go through. And so you factor in that information with, how she was able to finally get a living and all these different things. And you begin to see a person as a whole and not just as their mistakes, and it makes you it makes you have less animosity when these same people then go ahead and make better for their lives, right? Like, like Abby was saying about Sierra, we could all look at the behavior of being with somebody like a Future and be like, okay, that's a bad choice. This, that, and the third, whoop-de-whoop. We can talk about those things all the time and give commentary on it for the purposes of helping other people avoid that behavior. But it's toxic as fuck to then be like angry with Sierra because she then found a man that is very, positive towards her, treats her well, treats her the way that, any man that you deal with, if you're a good woman, you get treated that way, you have a good relationship, you get treated that way. So it becomes very toxic, and it speaks to our lack of empathy and our ability to have so much animosity towards other people. It's like we all make our mistakes. We all have skeletons in our closet, and we all have traumas that we deal with. That doesn't make us any less human, and it doesn't mean that the rest of our lives should be subscribed to misery. Okay? And you find this a lot in the dating sphere, like and I do this too. You talk about women that get older and they don't have anyone, and oh well, they spent their 20s doing this and they spent their 30s doing that, and that's why you die alone, and you say all these negative things, wishing all these negative things upon this person because they didn't live their life to the standard that you think they should have. And it's just like, at the end of the day, that's still a sad situation. We shouldn't be looking at these cases of people ending up alone and miserable. We shouldn't be looking at those situations and going, aha, this is why, blah, 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 blah. And that's what you get, bitch. It's just, having that type of energy is so negative and disgusting. It just is. It's like, we can talk about the different behaviors that lead people to these points and use them to grow and use them to help younger people not make those same mistakes. But at the same time, we don't have to then celebrate the fact that these people are having a terrible time of it. We don't have to then celebrate or wish that the rest of their life is shit. It's just, there's something very disgusting about doing that. And it removes our humanity, because, if you haven't done some of the like really, like, I would say unredeemable things, like things to children, I would say that's completely unredeemable. Like, take them out back in, what they used to do back in the day, in Minecraft or Grand Theft Auto or whatever you want to say. But unless they've done something like that, most people are redeemable. Okay? If you still have life to live, I think that life, the breath you have left should be spent making your life better. It should be spent finding that happiness, finding that peace, dealing with your trauma. And the fact that people wish for you to just be miserable because you made mistakes, as if they haven't made mistakes, is just sick. If that was the case, then we all should just be miserable as fuck, because we've all made mistakes. We should all just be miserable, wallowing in our own bullshit. Nobody should have a story of redemption. The whole word itself, redemption, shouldn't even be in our vocabulary if we're going to operate like that. So, that's something that Justin's been really opening my eyes to. And he's been opening my eyes to that for a while now. It's just trying to look at these situations and be more empathetic to the people involved, and not just writing people off because they make mistakes or because they may present themselves a certain way. Because sometimes these personas that we ascribe to ourselves are literally, defense mechanisms because of traumas that we've had. And that's how we protect ourselves, by, putting forth this image and acting a certain way. And whether it's toxic or not, we can still be able to empathize with people going through shit, and it's something that I'm working on personally. When I see different stories, I'm trying not to go straight for the, well, you shouldn't, and that's what you get type of attitude, but more so understanding the psychology behind how people get to those points, because understanding those things are going to help me be a better person. because then I could look at my situation and be like, okay, certain things have happened to me, and that's why I exhibit certain behaviors that are not good. And being able to, when you're able to empathize with other people, it makes it easier to empathize with yourself. Because I do think it's true that we're a lot harder on ourselves than other people are on to us. Even if people might put out this bravado, like they shit don't stink, 9 times out of 10, those people are still, very hard on themselves. And that feeds into why they put on that bravado. Because I'm be hard on myself, but I'll be damned if you're hard on me. You know, there's a lot of psychology behind it. And I just think that moving forward, I want to promote more empathy, whether it's on my channel or just me talking to other people or just me understanding different topics that come about. I want to be a more empathetic individual. That doesn't mean I'm going to give passes to poor behavior. We can still discuss behaviors and how, they shouldn't happen in the first place or how to avoid them or things like that, while still having empathy for the people that are involved in certain situations that we use to talk about these issues. So that's that was a good little segue into the empathy part. But yeah, Gabby says, I read her book and she was molested as a child. Yeah, I've heard her speak about her childhood. Corinne Steffens, I heard her speak about her childhood, and it's just it's disgusting and it's disturbing. It's very sad, and then you understand more why people end up in these situations. It's not by chance. It's not just like they wake up one day and they're just like, "Woo, I'm just gonna do this." Like, no, there's a lot of trauma behind people making the decisions that they make. A lot of trauma, and a lot of that happens when people are too young to even defend themselves. um Dayton says, I'm still trying to learn that through therapy. I will admit it's hard to forgive people sometimes. That's true. That's very true. But like they say, Justice said this to me the other day, like, forgiveness is more for yourself than it is for the other person. Because when you can't forgive, you're holding on to a lot of anger. And that anger can affect you in so many different ways in life. It could rob you of your joy, being so angry at somebody that, it's like the hurt that they caused you keeps getting exacerbated because you can't let it go and move on. But I mean, these are things that you really learn as you go through life, But like I said, that's something I'm moving forward with, is more empathy within myself. And hopefully y'all will have more empathy within yourselves as well. The world will be a much better place if we were a little bit more empathetic to each other and more understanding and less, hateful and wishing bad things to happen to people because we don't agree with their lifestyle or this, that, and the third. But moving on, moving on from that, this whole Tory Lanez thing, this whole Tory Lanez thing is so crazy to me. At the end of the day, he already had charges against him. He was on probation. Motherfucker shouldn't have had a gun. Period. Like, we could talk about the justice system and all the things that don't go right within the justice system. At the end of the day, he still had felony charges already against him, I believe. He was on probation. When you're on probation, you're not allowed to have guns. You already have your Second Amendment rights stripped of you for that reason. So at the end of the day, he still was wrong. Shouldn't have had the gun in the first place. But the thing that I would like more people to take away from it is being careful about the people you hang around. Okay? Because if you're hanging around people that don't know how to control their alcohol, you're hanging around people that have, anger and emotional issues. You're hanging around people that have a history of abuse or a history of, violence. You're hanging around people that have all these things. You can't then be surprised when bad things occur around you. It's like we have to have discernment about the company that we keep. Okay? Like they say, you tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. That that saying is very much true. And so, you know, I do have empathy for Meg the Stallion. Excuse me. I do have empathy for Meg the Stallion because at the end of the day, she got injured. You know, she got shot. Like, I don't know what it feels like to be shot. I can't imagine how terrifying it is to have a gun discharged around you, especially if you're in a situation where you think someone's trying to do you harm. Now, whether or not who shot the gun or this, that, and the third, whoop whoop, I wasn't there. I don't know. But at the end of the day, what I do know is that you had a bunch of people that are toxic as hell hanging around each other with alcohol in their systems and a gun that wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. So everyone's at fault. I'm sorry. Everyone in that situation is at fault because it's like you choose to be around certain people, you choose to get sloppy drunk, you choose to have a weapon that you're not supposed to have, and then we're all surprised that the situation turns into a shit show. Okay? It's just, we have to be more logical about who we hang around. We have to be more logical about the situations we put ourselves in, myself included. I'm not, removing myself from the situation. We all need to do that. Every last one of us needs to be very mindful about the company we keep, because if the company that we're keeping is going to cause us problems, then we need to avoid being around those type of people. Unless you want to have problems, unless you like having drama, unless you like having, situations that are just so high risk. Unless that's your thing, maybe vet who you're hanging around, and then also look in the mirror to see if you're the person that people should be second guessing if they're hanging around, because it could be you too. It's like, oftentimes we never want to see that we're the bad guy in a situation. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. And that's something that I'm learning to do, is to recognize when I've been the bad guy in a situation, recognizing when I'm the villain in a situation, and not trying to pass off, responsibility and accountability to others. It's like, we're not always the good guy in the story. And you can't twist the facts to make it seem like you are the good guy. So, everybody in that situation is at fault, I believe. I believe everyone in that situation is at fault. Do I think Jay-Z had something to do with him getting locked up and all? No. I found that whole spiel that his dad gave was so weird. It's just like he blaming everybody but Tory for having a gun. It's just like, are we really doing that right now? Like, you really gonna reach up and blame Jay-Z? Nigga wasn't even there. He wasn't involved. All he was sitting over there hanging out with Beyonce and their kids, and you over here talking about it's Jay-Z's fault that Tory Lanez is locked up because Tory didn't want to sign a contract with Jay-Z. I don't think Jay-Z is losing sleep over not having Tory Lanez as part of Roc Nation. Okay, Tory Lanez is not that poppin' of an artist. Let's be honest. Okay, his music is not that poppin' to be like, oh my God, he's not a Michael Jackson. See, Michael Jackson would have had people trying to do stuff, he did to keep him under wraps, because he was actually very, very influential and had a lot of power. And so, yes, people want to wield his power, and I would understand people doing crazy shit like that to keep him in check. But Tory Lanez, nah, G. They could literally go out and manufacture another Tory Lanez if they wanted to. Because first of all, he uses auto-tune for pretty much all that he does. So it's like, they can manufacture a new Tory Lanez like that. So ain't nobody losing sleep. Manufacturing another Michael Jackson, on the other hand, hell to the nah. That's just, it's not gonna happen. It's absolutely not gonna happen. So yes, I can understand people going out of their way to, lock up or to, commit crime or to, sully someone's image over like a Michael Jackson or a Bill Cosby or whatever the heck. But, I found that whole spiel very cringe, as they would say. Um, but he has, I don't think he's even been sentenced. They just said that the max he could get is 22 years. So he might not actually get 22 years. We have to see how much time he actually gets. But at the end of the day, he has to look at himself. Why would I carry a gun when I'm literally on parole? Why was I not following the rules of being on parole? Unless somebody planted the gun on you and you had no idea it was there until it was there. Like, you still broke the rule on your parole, period, point blank. Um, period, point blank. And I do find it a little weird that, Meg was all twerking and stuff after the fucking verdict and stuff. Like, that's a little weird. I don't get it, but that's her prerogative. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But I would say anyone moving forward needs to be very cautious being around someone like a Meg Thee Stallion, because it's like, clearly bad things tend to happen around you because of something that has to do with either how you carry yourself or the people you carry yourself around or your energy or whatever it is. So anyone dealing with her or Kelsey should tread lightly, because that's a bad situation waiting to get worse. Okay. Um but that's really all I have to say about the whole Tory Lanez thing. Man, I'm not feeling that. And the last thing I guess I'll talk about before I get off of here, I might, I might play a little Fortnite. I might do a little another stream right after this playing Fortnite, because your girls got better. Okay, your girls got better at Fortnite. I've been actually helpful. I know in the beginning when I first started playing Fortnite, y'all would literally see me shooting everything but the target, and then literally my team carrying me to a victory royale. Like, I'm actually helpful now. So I might do a little gaming stream after this, play a little bit of Fortnite. I got some really cool emotes. What's up, AHJ? I might play a little bit of Fortnite after this, but before I get off of here, what was I want to say? Oh, I'm pretty sure most of my audience is black. I don't think all of my audience is black, but I think most of my audience is black. So I do want to talk about this very briefly. I don't want to go too deep into it. Yeah, Fortnite. You gonna play with us, GC? You sent me a request to play Fortnite with you the other night, but me and Justin were talking. So I was logged in, but I wasn't actually playing the game. So I saw the request. I was like, oh, GC want to play? But, me and Justin was having our conversations and stuff because we talk a lot. So if you're on tonight, we definitely get a squad going. Okay. I'll actually be helpful. I'll actually get some shots in, a few eliminations. I'm not as good as everybody else, but I'm a little bit better. But anyways, back to what I was, about to go into. Because like I said, most of my audience, I'm pretty sure, is black. I don't know if all of my audience is, but I think that most of my audience is black. So I do want to kind of touch on this. I do find it very off code as black people, right? I do find it very off code to champion people that are non-black talking about black issues. I find that very off code and weird. I find it weird when I see white men talking negatively about black men and pandering to black women. I find that shit very cringe and very disturbing and weird. And I write those people off because they have an agenda, a very clear agenda. Okay. I don't like that. Okay. It's one thing. It's like, I know we have issues within black community as far as relationship goes, as far as, wealth, economy, all that stuff. I get that. There are issues that needs to be addressed and these conversations need to happen. They need to happen between the two of us, okay? They need to happen between black men and black women, us. We're the ones who need to have that conversation and build together, because at the end of the day, these other groups that come in and talk about our issues have an agenda outside of our own, okay? They have no skin in the game, right? Me as a black woman, I have skin in the game between the relationship between black men and women. I have skin in that game because I'm a black woman. My family is black. My children will be black. Period, point blank. So I give a shit. People who are not of our community, like like they don't have skin in the game. Period. Am I black or mixed? I'm black. Okay. Black comes in so many different shades. Both my parents are black. Both sets of my grandparents are black. Obviously, if you go down anyone's like family line, there are mixing in there, but for the most part, my ancestry is black. Okay. So I'm not saying that if I did my DNA that everything would be black, 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 black. Obviously not. But as far as like my parents, my grandparents, my great grandparents, black. So, I'll say that. But see, when I talk about this, it's just like I find it very off code to pander around or to give a lot of time and energy to people that are not even black talking about black issues. It's one thing if a non-black person has a one-off video about something black, like they just have a video here and there. Every now and again they address something that's happening within the black community or black relationships. It's another thing if that is literally your bread and butter, is talking about us. If that is literally like how you make your money, is literally talking about black people, talking about black women specifically, or talking about black men specifically, and you're not a part of that community, of you're I'm looking at you funny style. And I'm also looking at the black people that champion you a little funny style too. Because one thing that I will not tolerate is somebody that is not black, or better yet, like let's say a white man or a Hispanic man or an Asian man coming up to me and talking negatively about black men. Okay, stop. We're not having that conversation. Because first of all, it doesn't involve you. You're not a black man, so why the F do you care what I think about or the conversations that we're having to fix our shit? I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that. I have enough respect for black men in general, in a general sense, to not do that. And I find it weird when black women, go to these other races of men and they be letting them talk crazy about black men. I find it weird when black men go to these other races of women and have them talk negatively about black women. I find it weird and off code, because who else do you really see doing that? I mean, I know like maybe one person that's white that'll talk crazy about white women. I know like one person that does that. And it's just like, that's not a whole, big movement of things like that happening in other races of people. At the core of them, they have a code. They have a general code. And it's just like, I don't understand why we put the opinions of other people so highly above our own. I don't get it. It's like, it's very confusing to me. It's very, very confusing to me. And there are plenty of black women online talking about black relationships from a perspective that's balanced, from a perspective that's fair, that it doesn't make sense that there are so many black men and some black women rushing to go pander under, other races of women about black relationship issues. That's weird. It's very weird to me. I get so confused when I see non-black red pill women speaking on black women and using them in their thumbnails to get views. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I'm sure there are relationship issues within your own community that you can address, right? Like, I'm sure there are plenty, if you're a white woman and you're streaming and things like that, I'm sure there are plenty of other white women that you can hold accountable for negative behavior and work on figuring out how to make things better within your community. By all means, more power to you. I'm not going to go over and talk negatively about fucking Asian people and their relationships. Even though I lived in China and I seen some shit, I'm not gonna get on these here internets and say, hey, Asian women, this is where y'all fucking up with y'all Asian men. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I would sound and look crazy as hell getting on this computer on somebody's internet talking about how Asian women need to be better to Asian men, or how Asian men need to be better to Asian women, or vice whatever. Insert any race that is not my own. That would be weird. And they would cancel the fuck out of me. They would not pay me the time of day. You might have a few that are so anti themselves that they, think it's cute, or maybe they just have a fetish for Black women and then they, hype me up. Maybe. Absolutely maybe. But it will not be a majority, and it will not be enough to put some money in my pocket. Okay? Let's be honest. Okay, let's be very honest here. So I think that shit is very weird to me. And it's off code than a motherfucker. Okay? It is off code than a motherfucker, and I won't be having it. Okay? There's nothing that anyone that is not a Black man can come up to me and have me kikiing with them about Black men. It's just, I'm not finna do that. Justin, why you look at me like that? It's just off code. Like, it's really off code to me. And yeah, it's just like that dude I was reacting to, that fucking weird divester dude that was, it's like, can we just be honest here? There are some things that are clear, straightforward agendas, right? For example, that old white dude that I reacted to, he talks about wanting to have relations with Black women. His type is Black women. So, of course, he's going to speak negatively about who? The people that Black women are mostly associated with, which is Black men, because that's his competition. Okay? When you go over to the divestors and you listen to them talk, they talk crazy about white women. Why? Because they want white men. White women are their competition. So, of course, they're going to talk crazy about white women because it makes themselves look better. Right? So you have some white women that like Black men. They want Black peen and mixed babies. And they get on these internets and they talk crazy on Black women. Or you could say, oh, well, these people don't say directly that Black women this. What I need y'all to understand is that implications matter, right? If I'm a relationship channel and majority of the clips that I play of women exhibiting bad behavior is Black women, we all know what that image means. Okay? We all know what that means. I might not say out my mouth Black women. I might just say modern women. But all my clips that I use to describe and show these behaviors are all Black women. I don't have to say it. Read between the lines. Okay? We need to stop playing with me. Like, I hate when people do that. They try to do that plausible deniability bullshit with me. And it's like, no, we can literally look and see the pattern here. I could literally say modern women and show you nothing but Black women acting poorly. You know exactly what messaging I'm sending. Now, if I show a bunch of videos of white women acting foolish and I just say modern women, y'all gonna know exactly who I'm talking about. Clearly, it's white women because that is who I'm showing as the example every single time. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about, well, this person's talking about modern women. They're not talking about Black women specifically, but most of your thumbnails are Black. Most of the people you talk to are Black. Most of the people you have debates with are Black. Stop. You're not fooling nobody. You ain't fooling me, and you ain't fooling anybody with two brain cells to wipe together to form an idea and do some critical thinking. So I really, really, really wish that us as Black people, we get on code. It's not that we can't talk about the issues within our community. We most certainly can and should. That's a conversation we should have amongst ourselves in our spaces. And obviously we can't control if, people from other races are listening in, but we can control whether or not we make their content more profitable than our own. At the end of the day, all this shit is about money. Okay, let's be honest here. YouTube is about making money. Unless your channel is not monetized and you're able to monetize, but you choose not to monetize, unless you are clearly avoiding monetization, you don't post no links for people to send you money, you cannot tell me that this shit isn't about making money. Okay? I'm on here. I like expressing myself. I like doing this. But at the end of the day, I do want to make money from this. Now, I'm not shiesty enough to pander or to do all this other stupid shit to make money. I actually care about how I make my money and what it says about me and the content that I put out there. I care about those things, but at the end of the day, your girl still wants to make some money, okay? I need 2 nickels to rub together and I need them to become $1, all right? So I don't want to hear this BS about, this, that, and the third, whoop-de-whoop. It is profitable to talk about Black people. It is profitable to talk about Black men. It's profitable to talk about Black women because we are heavy consumers, okay? We spend a lot of money. Even though Black people have really low as far as like the percentage of wealth, and part of that reason is because we spend too much money, don't save enough of it. We are heavy consumers, and folks know that. They know we're so ready to send super chats. They know we're so ready to send money to folks. They know that we do that. And so they exploit it. Okay? They create content around us because it makes them pop in. Why do you think artists constantly have this phase where they do Black music? Why do you think they do that? Because we get them popping. Because we hype people up. Literally almost everybody does it. Fucking Gwen Stefani. Okay? What'd she do when she first came out? She was hanging around Eve and them. She even though her music wasn't blackity black, she was incorporating blackity blackness into her shit. So did Pink. A perfect example of this is Miley Cyrus. She had her good white girl image. She came over, started twerking. If you could call it that, I would say it's a seizure, but I guess it's twerking. She came over here, got incorporated in the Black community, started making music with all these Black people, all these Black men, shaking their ass and doing all this shit. And then, after she got popping enough, then it became, oh, I'm not about that life anymore. I'm a good girl again. I'm a good little white girl again. I'm redeemed. I had my little phase. Literally everyone does that. They come into our community and they do that. And then they branch off and do other shit. So it's not new. We get folks popping because a lot of culture looks to us, period. Yes, y'all naming a bunch of them. Robin Thicke, Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake. Yes. And that's not to say that they don't have good music. I love me some Justin Timberlake. Okay? I love me some Justin Timberlake. He got a bunch of songs that we be jamming to. But at the end of the day, I still recognize what it is. And the shit is happening in YouTube too. So you have these people that and it was brought to my knowledge that some people have failed in their own communities and then they come over to ours and then they're able to be very profitable because we just hype up anything that isn't us. You know what I mean? We hype up anything that isn't us. There's no reason why Danica Marie shouldn't have more subscribers than she does. Okay? There's no reason why Chantel Simone shouldn't have more subscribers than she does. There's no reason that a Six the Goddess shouldn't have more subscribers than she does. Okay? These are Black women, or a Shay Sade. There is no reason why these Black women that talk about Black things, that talk about Black relationships, and, for the most part have very balanced ideas and things like that. And they don't talk negatively about Black men. They, have pretty honest views about Black men and things that Black men go through, things like that. There's no reason why they don't get hyped up the same way some of these non-white motherfuckers get. Like, y'all be so ready to get these motherfuckers up to 1 million subscribers, and y'all have 49,000. Please stop. Please stop. And that's not to say that you have to like certain people or whatever. I'm just showing what I'm seeing. All right, we're so quick to hype up everybody else and pretend like those of us that are part of the community that have these conversations just don't exist. It's ridiculous to me. Absolutely ridiculous. But I digress. I digress. And yeah, Divine Focus, he said they be basic and then have 500,000 subscribers. It's like, y'all have beautiful Black women that have good heads on their shoulders, that are saying the things that need to be said, and y'all don't support them nearly as much as y'all support these non-Black people that come into our community to exploit the resources. And then as soon as they get up there, guess who they gonna leave in the dust? Yo ass. They gonna leave your ass in the dust. Okay, they gonna pull a Miley Cyrus and talk about they had a little phase. Okay, and they will be redeemed. They will be redeemed, okay? Except by people who see the bullshit and they're like, get the fuck out of here with that, okay? So I just want to make it clear, there is a code that should be stood by, and certain things I'm not finna be doing that, okay? I'm not finna be hyping up certain people, because this is something else that happens, is that we'll hype people up because we want to ride the coattails. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be riding nobody's coattails to the top, using them to do this and the third, even though I know what they're doing, even though I know that what they're doing is so off code. I'm not going to do that. Please. Absolutely not. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. I know I got on my little soapbox. Fro says, you're so beautiful. Congratulations on your pregnancy. God bless you and your family. Also hope your Christmas and New Year's are well. You might have answered already, but what's the baby's name? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my Christmas was very good, and New Year's is going to be beautiful too. I get to spend New Year's with Justin this year, not over the phone, but in person this time. So that's going to be absolutely beautiful. But we're still figuring out baby names, okay? We're still figuring out baby names. We have some ideas at hand, but I think that we need to just see our baby's face, okay? We need to see her little face, and then, the different names that we've been circulating, one is going to stick. We'll look at her and be like, that's so-and-so. But we're shopping around baby names. We're still, seeing what we like and what we don't like, and yeah, we'll have a baby name once we see her cute little face. Okay. Freeway says, I'm tired of people talking about my fellow Dusties. Keep us Dusties out your mouths. The bigotry thing of being Dusty is a bad thing. You're so stupid. Freeway, you're so stupid. I swear, y'all are so funny. But I'm off my soapbox about that. Y'all know where I stand when it comes to it. I'm gonna remain on code with my fellow people. That's not to say that we can't talk to people that are outside of the community. I don't really, there are people on YouTube that are not Black that I follow. There ain't nothing wrong with that. And there's people that are not Black that I do support. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But what I'm not gonna do is sit over here and support people that are exploiting my community and, using the shit that we go through as ways to add money to their pockets, right? It's one thing if you have a video here and there. It's another thing if that is literally your entire content is Black, Black, Black. If that's the case, we have a problem. But the videos here and there, I don't give a shit. Your whole shtick, that's where we had a problem. Okay. But yeah, let me see. What about Faye or Faith? No, I don't know. We haven't really talked about incorporating my name. I do know that I want, when we have our first son, if Justin blesses me with another baby, and it's a boy, I do want to name the son after Justin. because I love Justin so much. I want a little Justin Darlington Jr. walking around. Okay, I want a junior in the house. I want a junior in the house. Okay, but Joseph's just laughing at me. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, and I'm going to set up for a gaming stream, okay? I'm going to come back. We're going to play a little bit of Fortnite, all right? I'm going to hopefully get some eliminations and show y'all the little skills I've been working on. Granted, I've been playing on the big TV lately, so I can see better. Maybe I'll still have good luck on these smaller screens, these computer screens. We'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here so I can come back on and play some Fortnite. Oh, thank you, April. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. This is Merry Christmas to the baby girl. Yes, and next Christmas she'll be here. So, yes, next Christmas she will be here. And I just, y'all, I can't wait. I need to be very careful about my words. I can wait for my baby girl to get here because I need her to finish cooking. I do not want her to come out without being fully cooked. Okay. But I am so excited to see our little baby girl's face. Like, it literally just like brings me so much joy when I think about like holding little baby girl. When I think about Justin holding his baby girl, I just get so excited. Justin felt a kick the other day, which was so cute. Like, you know, I've been feeling her wiggle around, but it hasn't been enough lately until for me to feel it outside my belly, so that when I have my hand on my belly, I feel the kicks up against my hand. But lately, the kicks have been a lot stronger. So I had Justin put his hand on my belly, and he felt a little boop, and it was so cute. Y'all, it was so cute. The smile that overcame Justin's face was just so cute to me. I was just like, we were just sitting there staring at each other with these Kool-Aid smiles, you know, because he finally felt her kick. And it was just, it was amazing. I'm so excited about seeing our little baby girl. And I'm excited for the next ultrasound because I love seeing her. She's so cute. But thank you so much, April. I know our little girl gonna be spoiled in a mug. Like, she gonna want for nothing, bruh. She is gonna want for nothing. MP says, seeing my husband be an amazing father made me fall in love all over again. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? And that's a beautiful thing. Like, that's why I said earlier in the stream, okay? Before you start getting knocked up, make sure that man love you and love that baby. You love him and you love the baby, because anything less than that is just going to be a toxic ass situation. It's going to be painful for all parties involved. So that's beautiful. Yeah, seeing your husband be a good father, that's a beautiful thing. I know seeing Justin talk to my belly and all that stuff, it just brings me so much joy. Like, there's nothing like it. It is just the most beautiful thing in the world. And I can't wait to see. Well, I can wait. I gotta stop saying that. I can wait for her to finish cooking. But I'm excited. And that's what I need to say instead. I'm excited for when I can see Justin holding her and taking care of her and things like that. That's gonna be so beautiful to me. But anyways, when I keep talking, I'm gonna never get to the next stream. But I'm gonna go ahead and set up for gaming, and we will play a little bit of Fortnite, and hopefully y'all see my skills have improved. Hopefully. You know, sometimes you be ready to show somebody and then you end up just not doing what you say you're finna do. I don't want that to happen tonight. I talk all this stuff about how my skills have gotten better. I want to actually be able to show you, but we'll see. But thank y'all so much. And I will either see you with the next stream or next video, whenever you decide to bless me with your presence. But thank y'all so much. If you like this content, you already know what to do. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, and definitely subscribe. In the description box will be all of my sneaky links, including Instagram, Twitter, and the Sandraland Discord server. So go ahead and check that out in the description below. Thank you so much, and I will see you either with the next live stream or the next video. Bye.